welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have the Destructor, known as Nocturne. And now, it's kind of subtle. You know, they do some fighter itemization changes, they do some tweaking with Nocturne here and there, and all of a sudden, meta choice, very, very strong. No longer a flying clay pigeon, as I usually call him in tier lists when he's not present. Currently, no, he hurts when he hits, and, you know, his itemization choices, really, you know, from the thumbnail look simple, look basic. But you can really do sort of Strikebreaker Umbral Glaive, you can do Strikebreaker Ghostblade, you can go Death's Dance, Morpher Mortius, of course the Serrated Dildo Hex Drinker itemization with all the AP if you want to tilt them a little bit. There's so many things you can actually build on this champion, finalizing with GA, you can go Gargoyles, you can go Randuins, you can go Frozen Heart if you want, lots of stuff, and also Lethal Tempo or Conqueror. Now Conqueror, that is our go-to rune technically, but as always with these videos, I try to provide a little bit of a different look at a champion's strengths so that you understand why the meta works, but also why some more niche, well not niche, but you know, less popular itemization and rune choices can allow you to absolutely destroy everyone. Runes would have been on your screen, you would have seen that. Obviously Ultimate Hunter, most important. Yes, you want to have that because you want to basically be ulting on cooldown all over the map. Now in this game, we're going to look at a situation where, yes, he will carry the game. Yeah, but huge gold deficit early for your relative terms in terms of the early game, and we are against a Zac, which most of you will fight and phase in these elos, and you'll struggle with him. You will struggle with him because of what does Zac do that tilts you as a jungler? He's over here and pushes against you pushing bot lane. He's over here against you pushing mid laner. He's not someone that really has to commit to a traditional path for ganking, and so can get away with really unique angles, and that's something you have to be able to react to as Nocturne. And as a farming jungler, we're simply looking to maintain that tempo advantage over him, get an ult as soon as possible, and then have some map impact. Now, LeBlanc disappears very briefly and then comes back, which means we can assume that either she warded or she was just trying to dodge aggro. Now, in this case, she doesn't ward, but in your low elo games, very, very frequently, right, because the LeBlanc has, of course, already used her wards early on, we weren't really talking about it, if they disappear up 5 seconds and come back, I will logically assume that she has warded. The behavior is what typically would be expected, and you will, you know, get used to seeing that kind of stuff. Now, Malphite here, you see the Malphite? You see the Malphite, I'm pausing again, he moves on down, wards and goes back up. So you can kind of guess where exactly they're warding based upon how long they've left lane. You know, it's pretty obvious. If they leave for 30 seconds, you know, and then re-show, then they probably warded your blue and things like this. So, Zac in this particular situation, did his bot side has gone up now, and we see him here, thank you Ash's Hawkshot, and see 14, 15 CS. So you're like, okay, well this is the 4th camp he's doing. That's kind of weird. And you know what? You'd be right, that is kind of weird. And that's why I like these kinds of games, because it gives you, you know, predictive tracking is one thing. We expect someone to do as they should, specifically in high elo. But what if they do random nonsense, random shit that you just cannot account for? Well, this is how we learn. Now, obviously, Ash's Hawkshot is the most broken thing for junglers, for tracking. But either way, even if you don't have that, you can kind of guess what the Zac has done when he shows. You know, if he shows basically ganking here now with 20 CS, you know that either Krugs or Grump are up. You can look at the red timer to guess how long he's had the red for. I mean, look here, bottom left. You see there, the red is just finishing, and the blue is just beginning. So you can, there's a lot of things that can give you that information, but thankfully, because of the Ashe, we know exactly what it's doing. What do we do as a farming jungler when there is no gank to be had here or here once we've done a full clear crab? We reset, we get our itemization spike, in this case, double longswords. If you can look for a gank or a counter gank early, that's fine. But if there's really nothing, just reset and go back to resequencing, specifically in low elo, and that's just why Nocturne is so damn good. Ooh, we almost missed that one. We don't want to miss that one. I would assume that most likely this is gone at this point. It's worth committing a bit of a checking moment, but once we've walked over this ward and we clear it, I think I would just logically go back to this into this, because if he did take this and we kind of show wasting, you know, that time, he might even look to meet us here, although that's not really likely to happen. Just kind of the things that you're thinking about in this particular elo. Well, not in this elo. In the elo you guys are playing in this elo you're not thinking about it. But in low elo, yeah, you're thinking about it, because how many times, if you watch your VOD review, does the enemy jungle just walk into your jungle even though there's no camps to be stolen? Gotta look for those PvP moments, and obviously with Lethal Tempo, that is something we're definitely looking to enjoy. Can I just follow the champion, please? Thank you so much. I know I can double click it, but here we go. Bot lane is going. Veigar is dead. Long live a traditional bot lane. Well, I don't know what Renata Glass is, but the Ashe support. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about learning it because it's good. Nah, because it's tilting, and because ult on cooldown plus hook shot for someone who knows jungle tracking, if you know jungle tracking, you play support, that's really, really good. So here, this is a missed opportunity from the Nocturne, okay? So if you're here and you see this mid lane very, very low, rotate. Obviously, here's gone to the walls. There's a delay for the Grump because he did blue Grump. He sees her staying. She does actually kill the Corki, but now she has ultimate and, again, good warding. So sometimes it works out where you can kind of reactively path and kill a low target, but sometimes you cannot. We're not level 6 yet. We do hit that. We could try go for it, but she's just going to distort away. So there's no point. So let's just hold this. We see the Zac going top lane as well. Quite a mundane early game, but as a farming jungler, as a low elo jungler, someone who wants gold, who wants diamond, who wants to use Nocturne's disgusting kit, disgusting damage, this is fine. But you look at it. We're down 2k. Mid lane is winning. Bot lane is absolutely giga-smurfing in the wrong direction. Okay? So what can you do in those particular situations? Control your house, control your jungle. A lot of you talk about, well, they have such high KDAs at the end of these videos. Yeah, but look at the gold amounts. Look at the lane states in all the videos. It's always different. It's always unique. And the ability for all of these high elo junglers to succeed, no matter what the game state, in terms of having a good KDA and navigating the vicissitudes of their game, it's incredible how they always manage to come through. And that's what you have to learn from this, If you want to learn about your failings and how to correct them, well, that's what coaching's for, because it's always unique. There's always some interesting back and forth. So, however, therefore, whatever else you want to say in terms of transition words, he has now done 2 full sequences. We've looked to go mid lane. We've held that lane. That's nice. We got a crab. We see Zac there. We are up 10 CS. And this is the importance. If you had a ganking jungler that wasn't a Zac, say, I don't know, Warwick in your game, a Rek'Sai, and they tried to get all these ganks going, but they had nothing. They had no ability whatsoever to get kills. Your farming advantage here would be absolutely huge. That's what this farming and reliability is for you guys to actually use. There's no risk. I'm farming, I'm sequencing, I'm faster than you, I can do better than you. If my lanes are losing, I don't really care. I'm getting mine, I'm not losing to counter jungling. And the enemy jungler who has to gank in order to get fed, he's not getting going either. And sometimes you will have to give up dragons as well. Now, what I've seen in the coaching that I've been doing recently is that most, and I even did a VOD review of a Nocturne yesterday, just ulted into the dragon pit to steal this. Warded it, ulted in to steal it. Like, why? You could have just done your Krugs, Red Raptors, maintained the CS lead, in fact, increased it even. And now you can look to use your ult somewhere else, instead of sitting around trying to steal dragons. So definitely a quiet game, but we do here have LeBlanc distorting in, which means we can maybe look to use our ultimate, but he's not going to do that because, of course, the Zac has been around. Now, what happens in these situations is we might be looking for a Zac re-show gank here after doing dragon into blue side, so we're going to go and move down. LeBlanc MIA. We're using our lane gank here. Oh, look, Renata. There he is. They're able to actually get a kill. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. I'll explain in a second. Nice ult. Good lane gank. LeBlanc shows back up to the mid lane, so we're safe. Fleeing is the Zachary. He will have flash, and he will have little blobbies, so we're going to make sure we flash, use our lethal tempo procs to burn those blobbies down. Rinse and destroy. No one has TB to save him. There you go. We're on the map, ladies and gentlemen. And this might happen early in your games. This might happen level 5. But if it doesn't, do not sweat. Just do your sequencing. And what he did here is what I talked about in my main channel video as being very crucial for you. If you're going to keep sequencing, the advanced pathing technique that these players use a lot is, well, if I'm going to keep sequencing, and I'm faster than him, and he's going to be, doing the dragon, looking to gank here and looking to do other things, I can cut the map. So if you see him first and you cannot get there, then you can cut the map and do the Herald first, or counter jungle first, then the Herald, then gank top lane, then fall back to your blue side. Well, what he chose to do was sequence up, and instead of carrying on sequencing, kind of felt like, hey, you know what? He's probably still on the bottom side. Let me cut the map down and get to this lane here for lane gank. Now, what this is, see this? It's a loop. So it's loop pathing plus cutting the map in one play. If you want more explanation on what those two terms mean, they're my terms. I created the terms just to kind of label a certain play style. The latest video on the main channel, I'll leave it linked below, will explain those with good examples. But those two advanced techniques there, cutting the map and circular pathing, loop pathing, beautiful in games where you feel stagnant, but you're a good farming jungler who's maintaining an experience advantage. There we go. Finally, that was a lot of words. Felt like that was all one long sentence. I think most of my videos feel like they're one long sentence, but I always feel the need to consistently dish out information. I don't want you to get bored, you know what I mean? And if you get bored, then you're not learning. So you always have to be engaged. I'm testing your brain. So Zac obviously goes straight to the top lane here and kills with the Malphite. We're doing this. You know what? I'm with the Nocturne here. I just want to do the Herald I don't care if the top laner dies. You know, I get the objective, and now we can hold this. We do have Corki and, of course, ult in 8. All right? So the cooldown for you guys is 99.29 seconds. Ultimate Hunter, not yet fully stacked. It will come into big value soon. Here we go. Oh, I mean, why would you flash it? Malphite, just die, man. Just don't flash that. Just die. You don't have your ultimate. You're not leaving the tether range. Anyway, now, of course, we have Umbral Glaive first. In terms of having the Umbral Glaive first here, it is in the realm of your sort of Ghostblade Rush concept. We don't have as much value in this game, but because we are Nocturne and we want to make sure we can ult as much as possible, okay? Oh, he's dead again. We can ult as much as possible. Repeat gang top lane. Clearing vision and having huge control over vision is fine. So the Umbral Glaive, actually on Senna, of course, I like it as well, even when I don't need it versus your Nidleys and your Jins and so on. I just get it straight up for the exquisite vision control. Excellent Ash arrow, actually. We don't have ult here, but we're able to hit that, and he's dead. So the Strikebreaker Rush is really, really good 99% of the time. Specifically when you have a lot of range against you, right? A lot of things with mobility, things that can really stop you from keeping your tether range, even if you do hit your Q and maintain movement speed with them, obviously. It's just a good item. It's really his go-to item, and it's what you want to build by default. But if you have a huge lead or you feel like you're super strong at the moment, and you just want to assassinate and destroy squishy targets, which we do. Bottom lane is squishy, LeBlanc is squishy, but the Zac and the Malphite will not be. But they're not currently too tanky for us yet. And we also have the lethal tempo, so with those auto attacks and the AD and the lethality, plus our spell damage, it's a really nice package to rush your sort of Umbral Glaive and, of course, your Ghostblade. But 9 times out of 10, I do advise just going for Strikebreaker for most of you. You won't need the added damage from this, and you'll have no issue killing people sticking to targets anyway. I mean, the Strikebreaker is for sticking to targets regardless. Now, Corki's able to turn it around, actually, which is very good for him. Thank you so much for doing that. We want to hit this now as much as we can to about 3 plates, 2.5, and then we'll activate the Herald. There we go. Corki's attacking, so 2.5 it is. I mean, we attack it so much quicker than we do when I'm on. My frame of reference is always whooped, but true damage on the mid lane tower, perfectly done. And now we have objectives. Now, you see the transition there, how we took a slow beginning, a 2k gold deficit, and just swung the game in our favor and completely blew it open. Cut the map, loop pathing, double kill bottom lane. Shadow the Zac pathing in the same direction. He ganks, we get Herald, we kill the overstaying top laner. We use that then to get some kills in the bottom lane, obviously good at Ash Arrow. But from this, Zac shows top again, wasting his time backpathing, use the Herald, bust it open, now fall back. Now what you can do is fall back to counter jungling, and to a kill again if you have ultimate, or you can fall back straight to the dragon. But in this case, because our bot lane isn't positioned, and their whole team is coming out of base with gold reset, you know, if you start the dragon now and no one's in position, it's a bit of a bait. And in low elo, a lot of you are getting caught up with these baits even as a Nocturne. He's just leaving. He's like, guys, I have no interest in this. Because the Zac's a bit... Zac isn't quite your typical ganking jungler, right? Because obviously our wolves have been taken now. Zac is... He really ramps up his farming quickly. He really ramps up his farming quickly and, of course, becomes disgusting in the late game. So it's not something you're really looking to let go free. We do have here the... Yeah, I mean, this is obviously in this bush. Let me give you a tip, though. See, obviously the 2 hits for the control wards are big. This bush is a great bush for a ward, but this one right here, okay, very, very good. I was like, why is it dark? It's because we're ulting the top lane, excuse me. For those enthusiasts who want to see this, here we go, Sorry. So those 2 bushes really good for control wards if you're on the red team at the moment. People aren't checking the bushes. Don't know why. Don't know what's going on. Ult! No ult on the Malphite. Hopefully this is being pinged and communicated in chat, so that's just... I mean... Now it is on a 99-second cooldown, and basically at max rank it's gonna be 63 seconds. And that's really not a long time. So we have a double distortion here, which means she's gonna let the fear does go through. That's an error for her. That's a big mistake for her. He went for the right one, good job. Okay, so look at this. 502, lethality, pickaxe, long sword. Look at the damage you can bring forth. Do you care that there's 2 tanky people? No, because you do so much damage. The 80 ratios, the scaling is so nutty. And the lethal tempo as well is really, really good in those extraordinarily long fights against more tankier targets. Obviously, Conqueror is objectively your go-to, right? It's more your standard rune set, but this is why Nocturne is so damn good. He farms quickly, okay? If nothing happens that suits him, he just farms and gets 6 before you do, because he just does it better than most junglers other than your Dianas and so on, and your Karfuses. And then, of course, that ultimate is an absolute game changer in terms of, I mean, he used it as a lane gank here, but he could have used it from here. He could have used it from here. He could have used it from here to the mid lane. That ultimate just opens up so many possibilities for lane ganks and weird angled ganks straight from his jungle. It's effectively an AD, less impressive global version of Karthus in that way, right? You're farming Gromp, you see 2 low people bot lane, you ult, you get kills because you're Karthus, okay? Nocturne can't quite do that, but he does have that kind of vicinity where he can ult. Now I'm doing Krugs, bot lane's dying, I guess I ult. And being able to do that so often is so damn important, but it's not just about that. It's about the straight up Fear Tear, the Spell Shield, and Q chase down potential with Strike Breaker and the scaling on his lethality item here that makes him so difficult to fight 1v1 anyway. I mean, look at this. With Strike Breaker active, what are you going to do if there was no Malphite and there's no Renata moving up? What would you do? You just die, right? You just absolutely die. So we're trying to disengage here. We use ult to stop the enemy team from seeing what's going on here. Myfoot obviously doesn't have his ult anymore, but I don't think we're getting out of this one. The Renata move here is important, and obviously that's a good re-engage by the red team. So good recognition to not overcommit, but sometimes if you're just gonna die, you might as well just keep chasing him. But you know what? We will allow our hero to die one time, as I allow you, the people, to die one time. Obviously, I've been touting this whole non-death concept, which is important, and if you recognize every play where you could die perfectly and have a little bit of luck, it's pretty easy not to die, but that's such an advanced concept, isn't it? So in the meantime, because of this, sending 4 people top lane and having so much pressure, as Nocturne does, your team's able to get plates. Sorry, not plates, but towers. Your team's able to almost get towers. They're able to farm and not... Yes, your team are able to not die. There you go. They're not dying because 4 people are top lane. That's all you're looking for. But, you know, I'm memeing it, but at the same time, it's definitely a concept, right? Oh, I hit the mic. I apologize for you guys. It's definitely a concept where, you know, because you're absorbing all that pressure, your team don't get the pressure, which is huge. Obviously, ideally, we don't die, but it's fine. Now, they're all moving down here, and again, we have the ultimate. It's up. We have the radius. Do I get to see the thing in game? No, I don't, unfortunately. Lucian ult is forced to dash over, uses his flash plus his Gale Force. LeBlanc's very, very low. We have TP coming in. And now we got a multi-man Strike Breaker. We go on the target we want to go on, which is, of course, the super fed Lucian. We're going to try and kill him before Renata Glass saves him. All right, nice TP from the Riven. Thank you so much. We play around her. Zach's going to try and Wow, that is a huge... I mean, that's why Zach's so good anyways. It's also OP, really. But the Nocturne, man, how do you play against something like this if you're behind? If you're struggling with tempo? You know, you can't. He just beats you 1v1. He has more damage than you. He has more utility than you. He blacks out the map and you can see literally nothing. Now, what I don't like here is if we kill 3, okay, and everyone kind of disengages, I want to push this. So I don't like that we didn't do kill conversion ratio concepts here where we can push this up and try and take this. If Malphite and Zach are kind of out of the picture here and they're disengaged, we can at least push the wave. Maybe don't stay to get caught out again, but we can definitely look to push the wave. But also, if this is impossible for whatever reason, falling back to Krugs Raptors for a sequence and then looping back to the dragon, that's good too, okay? But I do like the concept here of just trying to push the tower pressure and keeping waves shoved so that our vision line is better for the dragon. But what he did isn't wrong, it's just kind of something I like to think about a lot. So Riven goes and kills the Renata, we focus on the Zac and kill him, then we just ult and obliterate the backline, which is exactly what we want to do. And with the Strike Breaker active, even if it's not up in that case, then no one's getting away from you. So you become an assassin that's unkillable. When you build Strike Breaker, you do not need a lethality item, but it does help when you want to be an assassino. But you can also obviously just go straight into Death's Dance. And if you're against like a Karthus as well as a LeBlanc and a Veigar and so on, Hex Drinker, baby. Hex Drinker. And then obviously you have... What's an item? Guardian Angel. There you go, Guardian Angel. If they're high damage, and there could be some randomness that allows you to die. So a lot of versatility there. The uptime from the lethal tempo now is at 30 seconds. Okay, so that's quite substantial in League of Legends terms. Really is a long time. Think about it. Imagine having attack speed benefit for 30 seconds. Now, the not die does work here. You might be inclined to help your Corki, but why? They want to reset. We have a red buff up. We have Hex Tech. Leave after doing some thieving in their jungle. Gold amount is 2,600, so I think we technically want to buy that, but if we have a huge lead and you're comfortable staying out here, see, we're shadowing. You see this? What Nocturne is great for and why he's so strong in general is you can shadow this. Oh, the Corki damage. Hey! Oh man, Renata Glass is stupid bloody champion. Great health, man. Is the worst invention in the game. I blame Tom Kench. Fuck Tom Kench. Stupid frog, toad, beast. There we go. Nice. Toad Beast is what I wanted to say. Beautiful though. You see this? So normally most champions here are farming this. This happens and you have to walk all the way around and you probably get nothing. Nocturne on the other end can farm while shadowing. And that's so big, even in negative game states. And I think that's really what's underrated, but it's also what makes him so strong in this meta. He maintains experience advantage all the time. And because he just outstat checks little everyone at this point, what can you do? Also split pushing. If your team suck, and your teams will suck, you can just split push. Well, she's taking that wave. Here we're losing this. Do we want to go bot sequence up here, or do we want to go here to protect the blue for our Corki? I think this is technically better, but at the same time, remember? Outside in, right? Outside in. Because if you go Raptors Krugs, you're shadowing bot lane. So if your whole team are pushing here, Raptors Krugs is fine because you can shadow this direction. If you're worried about shadowing the mid lane, then Krugs Raptors is best because that's our sequencing, because now we can shadow this. And again, if we need to go to the wolves, we can still do it, as you saw before. So the pathing in the mid game as a Nocturne is the same as everyone else, except you can do more with it. I do like the lethality item rush though for damage when you're super far ahead. And the Emerald Glaive is obviously very, very good. Smack that ward, send it back to where it came, from where it came. There we go. Language is hard sometimes when you just talk non-stop. Yeah. What's interesting is actually, from a monetization perspective, I don't know, I was thinking about this because someone mentioned this. They thanked me. It's this thing where you can kind of like donate on videos, but they thanked me, you'll see it on YouTube. On this channel, something about me talking a lot. And I just got the thank button on my main channel finally after like 3 years. So I was just thinking about that. There we go. See, nice engage, Everfrost. We go in and we dive backline. We double proc our Stride Breaker. They can do literally nothing to kill us. We do have our W shield to protect ourselves. Reposition as necessary. Use your Q. Make sure you hit it, but obviously we didn't hit it. This is how you want a teamfight as Nocturne. I like it a lot. You're not necessarily turbo engaging by yourself, although you can. They FF'd. You're engaging because they FF'd. There we go. Let me just show that one again to give you a bit more value of time. You see, look at this. Ashe ult, right, is great. If it doesn't hit, that sucks, but ideally it does. You have the Veigar to follow up with Everfrost, and you're just diving the backline playing off of that CC. Right, when they clump like this, running away from an engage is when you want to dive the backline, specifically when you have numbers advantage. It's so useful, it's so strong as a team comp in any elo, really. And that's why I like it so much. That's why he's an S+ jungler, because of everything I've said in this video. But mostly because even if it gets to the late game, you can do whatever you want. You can just ult and peel. You can ult and prevent rotations and TPs. You do whatever the hell you want. Nocturne is a do whatever the hell you want champion in the meta. And that's why he's absolutely bonkers. Thank you very much for watching. A little bit shorter this time because we had a couple of long videos with your late game stuff showing you how to navigate as a farming jungler, as a level 6 jungler. I'll leave the link to my main channel in the description. Please do like, share, and comment if you enjoyed and learned something. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial. Yes, that was one cut except for right at the end.